KQED is a public television station, the sixth largest market in the United States. We exist solely to serve our local community, and in terms of production, one of the top stations in local production. I'm Michael Isip, Vice President of Television for KQED Public Television in San Francisco. Today we're taping Pledge in one of the studios, and that's part of my role as head of television, is to actually go on air and appeal to viewers and citizens of the Bay Area, just to ask them if they value what we do, if they could support us and become members of KQED. We have 9 ongoing local series that range from news to science to general audience programming, such as a restaurant review show called Check Please Bay Area, which is probably one of our most popular local programs. Nationally, we produce for the PBS primetime schedule. We have a specialty in cooking shows. One of our major talents is Chef Jacques Pepin, who is an icon. He's a chef that worked with Julia Child. We've produced about a dozen cooking series that have been distributed nationally throughout the system. Grew up in a city called Harper Woods, Michigan, which is right next to Detroit. My parents came to Detroit, the Detroit area, in 1968, and my father took a job as an engineer at Westinghouse and my mother as a doctor in the inner city of Detroit. We lived in an area called Grosse Pointe, Michigan, which is a pretty affluent area, and there weren't many Filipinos, many Asians in my neighborhood. So, it was interesting just because I was different, and I had, my parents focused a lot on getting me to assimilate with my friends, and just so I could forge the best future for myself. Ambitions, as a Filipino, your ambitions are to be a doctor or an engineer or some kind of professional. So for me, it was possibly to be a sports agent, which is why I went to law school to learn about contracts and what have you. About halfway through law school, I was working in a tax and probate firm, small firm, and it was not very exciting work. And at the same time, my father had passed away. So I just realized at that moment that I had to follow my passion, and I'd been interested in television. So I just got an internship with the ABC station in Chicago, and that's how my career in broadcasting started. After law school, I came out to Northern California and got my first job in Sacramento with public television. Started out as an associate producer, and then I started doing on-air work for a political show. And then after about 5 years, came here to KQED as an executive producer. Being where I am now, a lot of folks in the community look to me to set an example and to give opportunities for other Filipinos and other Asians. So the responsibility is to help others who look to grow and to look to make a difference in their community, do what I can to put them into positions so they can have the kind of opportunities that I've had growing up.